Well, hi, Josh, and welcome to Meet the Candidate.
Hello, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Well, this is just the opportunity for you to introduce yourself to new and old voters in Spokane, and as you know, I always start with just tell us about where you grew up.
Yeah, well, I'm a lifelong resident of Spokane County. Grew up on the north side of town. This is the place I'm proud to call home, and it was the first for many. It's where I was born. It's where I went to school, had my first job, met and married the love of my life, and where we're raising our children as well.
Oh, we'll talk about a few of those things then, and starting with the Spokane question. You meet somebody. Where did you go to school?
Yeah. Yeah, so I grew up on the north side of Spokane County. So I went through the Meade school districts. I graduated from Mount Spokane High School. Did the Running Start program while I was there during my junior and senior year, and then ended up getting my associate's degree from Spokane Community College. Transferred to Whitworth University, where I got my undergrad degree in business management. And then about a year later, after graduating with my bachelor's degree, got my master's in business administration, also from Whitworth University.
Oh, definitely good institutions to be attending. Um, one of the other things I like to ask people about is the non-school activities as they grow up. What were some of your passions in your youth?
Yeah, so growing up, I was a hockey player. So grew up playing at primarily Eagles Ice Arena, and started out in the house leagues where you kind of stay in Spokane and play other locals. But as I grew up and got into junior high and high school, was on some travel teams, traveled a lot through British Columbia and Alberta and all over the Pacific Northwest. But that was something that took up a lot of my time growing up. It was a great experience, lifelong friends that I'm still in contact with today. Great experience. But oh yeah, by far, growing up, my activity that I spent more time than anything else, it was hockey.
My grandson is having the same experience right now in North
Yeah.
Dakota. Just really totally into hockey. So,
Oh,
well, what was
he
your
will love it. He will love it. He will make lifelong friends, and he'll have fond memories for the rest of his life for sure.
Yeah, I've discovered some interesting things about the sport. It does have that kind of bonding effect on a lot of
It
kids.
does.
Well, with that would have kept you really busy. Did you get a first job when you were in high school, or was that after you got out?
So I got my first paying job was at well, I was a dishwasher at the Golden Corral restaurant on North Division. That was my first real job that I had. So it's I certainly have had that opportunity to enter the workforce. Have that commitment, earn that paycheck, and quite honestly, learn what a real hard day's work is like. I mean, I will tell you, it's hard work being in that wet, steamy, sweaty dish pit at a restaurant. But it's something that wouldn't trade for the world. It was a great learning experience.
We always have to get those first job experiences out of the way and learn how the paycheck matches up with the effort.
That's
So,
right.
are there some interesting travel or volunteer activities that have helped shape how you interface with the world?
Yeah, I've done a lot of traveling, around the Pacific Northwest, up into Canada, as I mentioned, through my time playing hockey. I've traveled to the East Coast several times. Been to some of the big cities over there, like Washington D.C. and Atlanta. Um, but the one thing that I see when I go to so many of these communities is it really just drives home the fact that we're so blessed and we're so lucky to live in a place like Spokane. I mean, it's just every city has something that's great about it. Every community has something that's great about it. But every time I travel to any other part of the country, it's just it just drives home and solidifies the fact that Spokane County, that's the place for me. It really is. You asked about volunteer opportunities or volunteerism. I've served on a number of boards over the years, but what one of them is actually a sponsor of today's show. I saw that with We Believe We Vote. But one of the volunteer opportunities that I had that truly I think is the most meaningful looking back. Was when I was growing up, and it was helping kids learn sports. It was I helped out with a few hockey camps growing up, and it's just helping kids. And these were little kids. Literally helping them keep their feet under themselves. When they stepped out on the ice. But it's just great. Helping folks. The physicality of the sport, hand-eye coordination, teamwork, bonding, learning to work with other people to accomplish a dedicated goal, and that's something that I still look back on those times working in those hockey or volunteering for those hockey camps, and it just brings a smile to my face. And my son is just turned 6 years old, and it might be time for him to get involved with something like that here pretty soon.
You'll then. So, what drew you to volunteer for politics?
Well, my experience in politics started, with the local Republican Party. Got involved as a precinct committee officer, volunteered on a number of campaigns, and through all that, I ended up having a position working for some state representatives over in Olympia, in our state's capital. And so, what really drove me to seek the office of county commissioner was, after working in the legislature for 6 years and really seeing that sort of the impact that state government plays on local government. That there was a county commissioner seat that came open. There was a vacancy. And I just really thought, I have an experience here. I have an understanding of how county government works. I have an experience on how state government works, and really the connection between the two. Because the way county government works in Washington State is they're actually an extension of state government. Anything that a county can do, must do, or it's dictated by the state. Their state mandates that continue to come down. And so it was really that experience and seeing that nexus and that connection between those two levels of government, along with my commitment to fiscal responsibility and my dedication to this community. I thought, I'm going to seek this office of county commissioner and see if I can do my best to make this the best place to live, work, and raise a family.
Well, you kind of answered the last question, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. That 1-minute elevator speech of directly answering why should people vote for Josh Kerns for Spokane County Commissioner?
Because the people of Spokane County deserve a commissioner that will work to protect and grow jobs, will protect their tax dollars, and will prioritize public safety. I am that county commissioner. For the last 4 years, I have dedicated myself to making Spokane County the best place to live, work, and raise a family. And I am committed that as we move forward to guiding us to a safe, strong, and healthy recovery. And it would be my honor to continue to serve you as your Spokane County Commissioner.
Okay. It's a good wrap up, and thank you very much for joining us, Josh.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sue Lani.
90 million Christians are eligible to vote.
40 million didn't.
That's 45% of eligible Christians not voting.
We can change that.
We believe We Vote was designed to arm people of faith with information on candidates
and how they line up with biblical and constitutional principles.
It's simply WeBelieveWeVote.com.
We're on a mission to rev up the 2020 election.
Tell your friends, your neighbors, and especially your pastors to rev up.
Be an educated voter.
Arm yourself with truth based on the Word of God.
2020, rev up.
Register, educate, vote.
Rev up.
Rev up.
Rev up 2020.